Doing a little bit of demo in this old pantry that used to have the washer and dryer in it. But I gotta cut a big hole in the wall here because we're gonna close off this door so we can have our kitchen countertop in a U shape. And then this hole right here will be basically the entry to the staircase. There's gonna be a little landing here, staircase going into the attic. And then underneath the staircase there'll be still a pantry underneath it, but I'm going to cut a door on this side, which will be the pantry door. And I also wanted to show you this cool old wallpaper I found underneath. This was probably the original wallpaper. I like finding neat stuff like that. These ceiling tiles were very unlikely original. Those were probably put in the 70s or so. Maybe the 60s. Alright, I gotta show you something cool. I'm kind of restless. It's late at night. I decided to... We've got these cabinets that need to go, so I'm starting to break down the kitchen. And it came off pretty easily because it was essentially sitting on this ledge and then just had two nails on the top and just kind of came out. I was careful with it. But I gotta show you, this is cool. So this looks like, to me, the original wall covering would have been like a sack. They would have basically tacked up this burlap type material, and then they glued the wallpaper to the burlap. And it looks like, it looks like this was probably the original pattern. And then somebody came and like painted it, or at least most of it. You can see it looks like it's kind of painted here. So I'm guessing the original cupboard would have been just a little box right here. And then, you know, it was painted around at some point, and then later they took that box off and put up this bigger one. And then way after that, they put up this paneling, which is all going to come off. It's full of shiplap, of course. That looks like fingerprints or smears. That was probably done 100 years ago. There's also a little evidence of a little ant pile we had going on here. We had an ant problem. I was able to take care of it, but anyway, they were in there at one point. I'm not sure what I should do, if I should try to cut this out and keep a piece of it or what. But anyway, it's just neat to see what was originally there. So this would have been circa like 1918 is my guess. Okay, just started with the kitchen. I'm going to take all this paneling off, all the trim off. I'm actually going to leave the ceiling tile because I'm just going to drywall right over it. I did that in the bedroom. That seemed to work pretty well. So this is coming down. I already took off the blinds, took down the cabinets, and yeah, so I'm just going to strip it all out today. So this is going to be basically the new layout. We're getting a new fridge, but it's going to go here. I'm going to build like a fridge cabinet around it. And then the new stove, we already got it. It's in the other room, but we're going to put the new stove here, and I'm going to make a cool kind of retro looking vent hood going that way. And then we'll have some open shelving on the other side of that. We'll have a little bit of open shelving right here. And then we're going to put new cabinets here, all across here, a new sink. And then we're going to put some new cabinets across here. And then right at the window, it'll drop down to like desk height, and there'll be like a little desk here. And then there'll be some kind of a tall cabinet here with a bunch of open shelving and on the top half and closed drawers on the bottom half for paperwork and all that home office type stuff. Anyway, yeah, so today's just stripping it because today I'm going to get it, the plan is to get it all kind of mostly stripped out. I'm going to leave the sink in just because it's going to be a week or a couple weeks before we actually get to put some new stuff in. So the plan today is just to strip most of the junk out of here, most of the stuff we don't need day to day, obviously wall coverings and that kind of thing. Jessica's going to work on stripping the rest of the tiles off the floor. They're like linoleum tiles, so she's going to work on stripping all those. And then next weekend, I'll be rerouting or adding some plumbing fixtures and stuff. Like I gotta add behind here. I gotta go into the house and add a another plumbing line, a cold water line to go to the new fridge for the ice maker, and because the new fridge has like it's gonna have a ice maker and a water spout in it, and filtered water. And I gotta add a couple plugs and stuff. I'll do that next weekend. And then the following weekend, my dad's coming to visit, and my stepmom Brenda, and they're gonna help us hopefully drywall everything and put in all the new base cabinets and all that. So hopefully they'll. My plan is to get everything kind of stripped back to bare, so it's just a clean slate when they get here, and then we can just put in the new stuff, and we'll have a new kitchen here in a few weeks. What do you think? You want to rethink your whole kitchen because of that? Just take a look at how thick this paint is. I can't even get to the dang screws. Anyway, I'm trying to take all the doors off. There's 100 years of paint on here. Probably 5 or 6 layers. Found this cool old chimney. I'm guessing there was probably originally like a wood cook stove that had a thimble to go into that. Pretty cool, but we're probably going to end up taking it down. So this will be framed up similar to that, and then obviously when we get to drywall, we're just going to drywall over it. And that was an old door into our bedroom for some reason. We had 3 doors into the bedroom. Obviously we didn't need 3 doors. So I closed that one up. This was the old pantry, but we're actually going to put a staircase in there to the upstairs. And then we'll have a pantry door on this side, which will basically be under the staircase. Okay, so now I'm going to start peeling these tiles off. Some of them leave some of this kind of, sticky stuff behind. It's going to be a real pain, but I'm just going to have to chisel it off inch by inch. Alright, this is the floor with all the tiles scraped off it. Just mopped it. I think what we're going to do is we're going to paint it white, like a nice bright white. And then I'm going to use the same color gray that we're going to use on the lower cabinets to, I'm going to paint like a border around it. Kind of like a geometric stencil type border. I think it'll be cool, but